Hey, what's up? This is Abyssal Whip here. We've covered a lot of different kinds of clothing on this channel. Jackets, pants, sneakers, whatever, from tens of different brands, but I guarantee you that we've not had anything quite like this. Hamcus. We talked about them a couple of months ago in an introductory video, brands that you might not know, but if you still don't recognize the name, then know that Bliss Foster, who's probably the most knowledgeable of the YouTube fashion type people, referred to Hamcus as something like the coolest brand of 2020. I don't know about you, but that seems like pretty high praise, and I really wanted to take a look at this stuff, so I've got to say big shout out to Hamcus, who were able to send me a few bits. It is much appreciated, so thank you to them. And we've got a total of 4 different items, but we're really going to focus on 3 things. That being the Manta Parka, reinforced sprinter shorts, and the desert boonie. We also have the PMU holster as well, but that I feel like is kind of a bit of a different thing, so I'll cover that separately in some other kind of way. But that's a pretty cool item as well. That's definitely worth checking out. There's a bit of a burning question, I think, which is when stuff is so different to 99.9% of the clothing that's out there, this is clearly kind of in its own lane, as it were. What on earth do you go about wearing this stuff with? How are you actually going to make maximum use out of it? The assumption, I think, with a brand like Hamcus that really does have its own identity to a massive degree is that the only way to wear it is to really dive head first, whole outfit, head to toe, and that's pretty much it. And certainly that is an effective way of doing things. I think that these 3 pieces, when styled together, look really cool, and it's really cohesive, and they work really well together. I think it would be pretty hard to argue that Hamcus as a brand doesn't just create individual pieces, but entire ecosystems and things that are designed to be cohesive and to work very well together. They even have factions and backgrounds with all of this stuff. So yeah, this is a clothing brand with a lore attached. Rather than pick out an item of clothing you like, you're almost encouraged to pick a faction whose ideals and aesthetic you align with. So there's a clear benefit to doing that. These pieces will work well together, and you're certainly working with Hamcus's vision of how they see their products being used. But you don't have to do that, or you might not want to do that. For one, it requires pretty heavy investment buying multiple of these pieces at once, and 2, each piece individually looks pretty unusual, and of course when you pile those things on, when you're wearing them all together, that look, that unique effect is only accentuated. And you may not want to go that far in that direction, or be a little bit unsure about doing so, because let's be honest, the best accessory to wearing all this stuff together is a massive amount of Chad energy. You want to know that they have some flexibility and you can wear them in several different ways. So to give you a much lighter weight Hamcus based outfit, you can lose the jacket, just replace it with a t-shirt instead. This is a Uniqlo U1. I bought it a size up, so it's really pretty oversized on me, and it's got the right kind of fit, I think, for the other Hamcus gear, but because it is in effect just a plain white t-shirt, it really helps work with the unusualness of the other 2 items and really kind of take them back a little bit, take them back a notch, make them look a little bit less weird. It's a far more casual and less costumed look, but it still looks pretty interesting, I think. And in summer, it can be pretty difficult to get things that are like kind of layered looking or interesting in some way when you are just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. But this, I think, does a good job of that, because the individual pieces still have a lot going on. They've got those multiple layers, but still pretty comfy, still pretty lightweight and relaxed. If the Manta Parka is more your thing though, I actually think that this works well by itself too, albeit as much more of a statement piece, something that really stands out, and when paired with other things that are kind of loud in their own right as well. Here the colour of the jacket is really used to accentuate things, makes it really stand out, but it's good to see that it does work pretty well with black as well, because of course, certainly a lot of my wardrobe is made up of all that stuff, and you guys, you may well be the same. The 2 together still evoke that military-inspired feeling, but a lot less apocalypse core and a bit more tech wear, I suppose, really, in the traditional sense. By removing the extended panels of the Manta jacket, by tucking that collar in as well, it does make it look a little bit more normal. It's just kind of like an oversized military jacket, so it makes it look quite good with the acronym P30, I think. They both kind of balance each other out. No one of them is like vying for attention really hard over the other. Yeah, I think the 2 just kind of work. While the cut of the Manta Parka definitely does suit the P30, I think even with more normal clothes, this can still look okay, and it just comes across as a bit of a statement piece. It's a bit of a way of making an outfit look cool and interesting just by virtue of being there by itself. So I do think it's possible to wear this kind of clothing with other brands. It's not an exclusive, you have to only wear Hamcus, but let's not pretend that it doesn't suit the slightly more unusual stuff better. Even that plain white Uniqlo t-shirt has a very very oversized and a very boxy cut. It's definitely not a kind of normal fit. And I'm certainly not going to pretend this gear is really easy to style or it'll just fit into any wardrobe, no problem, because, you know, I've got quite a few bits and a lot of them are straight out the window when you start looking at this Hamcus gear, because it's so flashy and it's so kind of next level that you just have a big danger of overshadowing everything else in a massive way. But I guess it's also good to know that if you're a little bit concerned, like looking at the styling on this website where everything is like super, the dial turned up to Mad Max level 11, that there is different ways of wearing this stuff and it can be subdued a little bit, particularly with something like the Manta Parka where it does have those transforming bits to it, and you can kind of slot things in different ways and present it in a bit of a different context. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this stuff personally. I think I've already found like a couple of nice ways to wear it that kind of feel right to me and I feel pretty comfortable in. And it definitely makes me want to pick up more stuff, either from Hamcus or otherwise, that really fits this more grungy and dystopian aesthetic, which is, I suppose, a little bit of a contrast to the relatively clean and futuristic stuff that I would often go for. But the ultimate question, of course, the reason that everyone's here, do I recommend this stuff? Yes. It's a definite yes, and do you want to know why? Wearing this stuff just feels cool. When I put everything on and I feel like I'm dressed up for the apocalypse or whatever, it's just exciting. It's just so different to everything else that I've got. And all those weird idiosyncrasies like poppers in unusual places and those different systems and mechanisms that work in unusual ways and those different flaps of material that are just kind of chilling there to help enhance that oversized dystopian aesthetic. They're all things to fall in love with, and when that garment quality and the construction is undoubtedly there, I think that's what gives it the legitimacy for me and makes it feel like I am wearing something that's genuinely like really cool and dystopian in this unique way, and not like I'm going out wearing a costume, which I think is the initial concern that people would have with gear like this that looks so different. The best analogy I can give is that it feels like how I would imagine an actual prop from a high-budget apocalyptic film to feel, rather than a fancy dress costume of that outfit. To be honest, I feel like this came at the perfect time for me as well. When I've looked at so many products that are at a basic level pretty similar, to have something that is so left field that I feel really has the potential to elevate my wardrobe is kind of exactly what I was after. So if you're tempted, maybe start out small, maybe try a hat, maybe try a pair of shorts, those things that you can easily kind of tone down with other pieces, but still have that unique Hamcus personality of their own. And maybe over time, you dive in a little bit harder, you end up going for the full outfit like the 3 bits that I've got here, because I can almost guarantee you that once you pop that Hamcus can of Pringles, you're probably not going to stop. Alright, that's quite enough of me, but it's over to you. Tell me what you think in the comments about this Hamcus gear. What do you think about the overall outfit, the whole thing together, and more importantly, the idea of mixing that into a more standard wardrobe or mixing it in with other pieces? Do you think it's effective? Do you think it can be done? And are these things that you would ever consider wearing yourself? Initially, and I think when I first saw this brand, I was like, oh no, that's like too far out for me, like that's too crazy. But like now I've had the chance to actually own it and wear it a little bit more, I really feel a lot more confident than I thought I would wearing it. And yeah, I just feel really good with it on, basically. And it's massively grown on me, I've got to say. But if you did enjoy this video, then please do give it a like, because it is super appreciated. And of course, as always, we will be back next week with another video. Shout out to everyone that enjoyed the live stream last week. I went for a more kind of structured thing and did this kind of like outfit challenge, I suppose, had a little leaderboard there. I thought it went down really well, and yeah, I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it, and I'm definitely up for doing more stuff like that in the future. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more stuff, there's going to be links going up at the top, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should definitely do so, because we got loads more cool fashion content on the horizon. And if you would rather watch some video game stuff, then I've got another channel for that as well, so you can go take a look over there.